if you look here, what we will be doing here is we'll be creating a end-to-end service, right, using AWS, where we'll be creating a web page, right? What we'll be doing using that web page? We will, like, suppose I want to create a kind of employee management system where, suppose if a new employee has entered the organization, then he should just submit that form, and automatically that form should be loading the data into the Amazon RDS. Okay. So what we will be doing here is, let me explain a little bit about the, like, how we're gonna do it. So first step is basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a private subnet and a public subnet, right? So we'll be creating first of all a VPC which will be dedicated towards our project, right? We'll be creating a private subnet and a public subnet, right? Then we will be creating a load balancer, right? How will we balance the load across multiple things, right? Then we will be creating basically a RDS, which will be a relational database. Then we'll be creating a DynamoDB, which will be an image of the database, right? And then furthermore, we'll try to create some tables out of it. Then I will use a Python script to kind of build a kind of a kind of framework inside the RDS, so that whenever I deploy it, it should be available on my web page, right? And as soon as I click anything on the web page, automatically my data should be loaded to my RDS, right? So I'll create a end-to-end web page using basically end-to-end web hosting using AWS. Let's see how I can do it. Let's go ahead and let's quickly jump on to practical, right? So before that, I would also like to explain a little bit about this, right? This is a real-time industry project, right? This is what we're gonna do. I'm just telling you about high level about the page. So basically it's from the main page, we will be taking employee name, location, age, technology, and everything, right? We'll be uploading a photo that will go to RDS, right? And furthermore, from RDS, that will go to the employee page, right? So what we will be doing here is, let me go ahead and let me first start with VPC. So if you want to do parallelly as well, you guys can do it, right? So what I will do, I'll create a VPC first. I'll go to your VPC. What I will do is create VPC, AWS industry project VPC. Okay. Here what we will do, here we will write, suppose you put any random CIDR, right? 10 dot, let's push 20.20 actually, 20.20.0.0, right? /16. Okay, this is our VPC, right? Then we will go ahead and we will create this 20.20.01 VPC. Okay. Then we will just :, create. So our VPC is ready. If I go back to the VPC, it's ready, right? This is my VPC. Now I will duplicate this tab and I will create the subnets. So before going to subnet, how to open subnets? You can just click on this subnets and it will open a subnet as well. Okay. Here what I will do, I will create 3 new subnets actually. Let's select our VPC, which is AWS Industry Project VPC, right? And we'll start creating the subnets one by one. First subnet, let's make it as a public -001 subnet. Okay, availability zone, let's keep it as a 1A, right? Let's keep the subnet as 20.1.0 /24, right? 20.20.1.0 forward. So this is the protocol version that we'll put. This will be a public subnet, right? Then let's add one more subnet. Name the subnet as public -002 subnet. Okay. Public -002 subnet. Let's create this in 1B, right? And then 20.20.2.0 /24. Okay. This is done. 20.20.2.0 /24, right? Let's add one more subnet. Let's write here as private subnet. Private -0, basically 001 subnet, right? Let's create this in 1A. right? And let's write it as subnet as 20.20.3.0 / 24. So if you guys have previously studied AWS, you will be knowing that subnets, how are they identified? Basically, we put the subnet IPVR. Suppose if you have always a VPC CIDR is 16 and a subnet CIDR is always 24, right? Because we want to change the last three digits. Okay, so here we are changing 1.0. Here we are putting 1B 2.0. Here we are putting 1A 3.0, right? And then we will create the subnets. It's getting created. Then we'll see the three subnets here, right? So before that, we also have to do one more thing. Let's click here. Let's go back to the VPC page. Click here. Go back to the VPC page, click here, go to actions, go to edit VPC settings and enable DNS host names. Enable DNS host names, right? Save it. Right? So we have successfully enabled the host name. We have created the subnets, right? Now our next topic, now our next step is to create an internet gateway. What is it? Enable. Here you will go to enable edit VPC settings, enable DNS host names. Okay. Then what we will do, we'll create a duplicate of this, right? And we'll go back to internet gateway. We'll search with internet gateway here. Or let's click here. Here, internet gateway. Create internet gateway. AWS industry project IGW. Okay, just keep it as it. Okay, now this is done. Create. Once this is create, go back, click here, actions, attach to VPC, select your VPC. So you should be this AWS industry project VPC, then attach. We'll attach our internet gateway to the VPC, right? So this is done. Now next is creating a NAT gateway, right? Duplicate, right? Search for a NAT gateway here. What is NAT gateway? NAT gateway is basically used to help the private subnet connected to the internet. Here we'll create a NAT gateway. Let's write it as AWS industry project NAT. Okay. Select the subnet as let's select the subnet as public 01 subnet. Public 001 subnet. Okay, this one let's select it. Right? Public 001 सबनेट. यहाँ पे एक काम कर लीजिए AWS NAT-GW लिख लीजिए. ठीक है, 001 सबनेट हो गया. इस सबनेट इस पब्लिक allocate elastic IP. Do it. Allocate elastic IP. Right? So elastic IP will be allocated. Everyone knows how elastic IP is. Yeah. Then we will just go ahead. Create NAT gateway. Then next step is to create root tables, right? So let's see how we can create root tables. Click on root tables, right? Create root table, right? So before that, actually, automatically you will see a root table will be created, right? As soon as you create the industry VPC, right? Automatically the root table will be created. Now let's name it something. So AWS industry project default RT. ठीक है, ये मेरा हो गया रूट टेबल के लिए. ये मेरा इंडिविजुअल. अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे, ये हमारा हो गया. अब लेट्स क्लिक इनसाइड एंड गो इनसाइड इट, राइट? And what we will do, we will first click on actions and edit root, right? Add root, select this. We'll select the internet gateway. We'll allow internet into it. We'll select our internet gateway. We'll save changes. Okay. So root table is created now, right? Then what we will do, we'll create a private root table. So if I show it again here, actions, edit roots, We'll allow this internet gateway, this save changes, cancel. Sorry. Now we'll go here and create one more root table, right? So let's remain the root table as AWS industry project private root table, right? Industry project private root table. Now this private root table also is there, right? So with the default one, what we have done, we have elected the internet gateway, right? And let's click on the other one first. So this is default RT. Let's click on it once again and let's associate subnets to it. Edit subnet. So just untick this private one, right? And select both the public subnets ones, right? So that we allow the public subnets over here. Right? This is my default one, public 0102. Save. Just double check. This is fine. This is fine. Now here, private one also will do the same. Let's click on here, private one, edit routes. In here, we will just, you will not select the internet gateway, instead we will select the NAT gateway, right? And then edit subnet associations, we will select the private one. Okay, private subnet, save association. So our both the root tables are ready now, right? The very next thing that we have to do is security groups. Let me move on to security groups. This recording is anyway there, so you can refer it anytime, right? So before creating on the security groups, let's click here, security groups.
Whenever we are adding internet gateway, they are only will add public summon.
Yes, correct.
And
where the NAT gateway is there, we'll add the private subnet. Yeah. Then we will create one security group here, right? Let's create it. So let's name it as a AWS industry project SG. Okay. Description, just leave it as blank. Select your VPC, right? Then inbound, let's add it, all traffic. Anywhere, right? This is good. Add SSH as well. Anywhere. Here also make it as anywhere. This is great. Created. Anywhere, SSH, all traffic anywhere. This is good. Add. This type. Add. Security group is also ready, right? We create everything one by one. Okay. Now security group is also ready. So we'll see whether it is ready or not. There you go, it is ready, right? Now we will create the instances now. Okay. So what we will do, we'll go ahead, we'll create EC2. We'll now work on EC2 machines. Right? Here what? SSS and all traffic. Anywhere. Okay, now what we will do, we'll try to launch some EC2 machines. Okay. Launch instance. So first thing that we have to do here is, let's do a public -001 EC2. Okay. So here public -001 EC2, select Ubuntu. Select Ubuntu. Public 24 is fine. T2 micro is fine. Create a key pair. Let's name the key pair as public 001 EC2 key pair. Okay. Download the PM file. So this is done. Okay, now here we need to do some things, right? Here we will select our VPC. Here we will select the public 001 subnet, VPC public 001, it should be enabled, right? And security group, select security groups. Just yes. And then select this industry level project, security group, and we are set to go. Right? Public 001 subnet. This 001 subnet enable, right? Select the enable, security group selected, and then let's click on launch. So again, Ubuntu 82 microspan key pair PPC project public 001 enable. Security groups is this. Let's launch instance. Right? Now we'll create two more instances, right? Let's do this. So now here, launch instance again, right? Here you can, what you can do here, light up public 002 EC2. Okay, go down 002 EC2, Ubuntu. Go down, create a key pair, public 002 EC2 key pair. Okay. Then what we will do, we create it. Then what we will do, we will save it in the downloads. Right? Edit, VPC, public 002, enable, right? Select existing, select the VPC, security group, 00 VPC, national public 002, enable, select the VPC. This is good to go as well. Launch it. Right, let's go back to EC2. Instance is running. Launch one more. Private 002, 001 actually. EC2. Right, and then what we will do, private 001 EC2, right? Then we will just select Ubuntu, right? So private 001 EC2, and we will just select Ubuntu, right? And then we'll go down T2 micro and we'll create a new key pair. Let's name it as, follow कर रहे हैं ना सब लोग? तो हो गया प्राइवेट 001 की पेयर मेरा सेव, राइट? अब यहाँ पे मेरा प्राइवेट 001 EC2 की पेयर हो गया। अब यहाँ पे मैं क्या करूंगा, ये मेरा प्राइवेट मशीन है, मतलब इसमें मेरा कोई भी एक्सेस नहीं होना चाहिए। यहाँ पे मैं प्राइवेट को दे दूंगा, यहाँ पे 001 सबनेट, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे मैं क्या करूंगा, इसको डिसेबल ही रहने देता हूँ, ठीक है। और यहाँ पे मैं जाऊंगा सिक्योरिटी ग्रुप में सिलेक्ट कर लूंगा अपना जो मैंने बनाया है। मेरा सब कुछ बनाने का मकसद वही था, समझे? सब कुछ मेरा बनाने का मकसद यही था कि बाद में सबको हम लोग यूज कर सके। अभी हम लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं यही काम हम लोग इंडस्ट्री में करते हैं, एंड टू एंड हम लोग बनाते हैं। कोई भी नया प्रोजेक्ट आता है तो पहले VPC, फिर सबनेट, फिर इंटरनेट गेटवे, फिर नेट गेटवे, फिर रूट टेबल, फिर सिक्योरिटी, फिर इंस्टेंस, और फिर RDS S3 ऐसे बनाते हैं, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे डिसेबल हो गया हमारा, ये भी इंडस्ट्री लेवल हो गया, डिसेबल हो गया, सिलेक्ट हो गया। और हमें इसमें क्या नाम दिया है, प्राइवेट 001 EC2 दे दिया, वोटो दे दिया, टू माइक्रो दे दिया, प्राइवेट 001 कीपर दे दिया। अब इसको लॉन्च कर देते हैं। या जस्ट कीप इट डिसेबल्ड फॉर नाउ। यस, फॉर ओनली प्राइवेट कीप इट डिसेबल्ड, ठीक है, क्योंकि हमें प्राइवेट को ऐसे भी एक्सेस करने का एक्सेस नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है। अब हम लोग क्या करेंगे, अब हमारे पास चारों इंस्टेंस, हमारा तीनों इंस्टेंस बन चुका है। अब हम लोग धीरे से जाके क्या करेंगे, S3 बना लेंगे, ठीक है। तो इसके लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, पहले हम देख लेते हैं कि मेरा सब कुछ रेडी है कि नहीं। ये मेरा पुराना प्रोजेक्ट का है, मेरे डेवऑप्स प्रोजेक्ट का ये बना हुआ है कुछ, तो उसको आप लोग इग्नोर करें, ठीक है। यहाँ पे मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ कैसे इसको मैं कर सकता हूँ। तो इसको अगर मैं जाऊँ तो यहाँ पे होगा लॉन्च टाइम, तो इसको मैं यहाँ देख लेता हूँ, ये मेरा लास्ट लॉन्च कब हुआ है। तो ये मेरा 3 मशीन मेरे को ऊपर में दिख रहा है, राइट। मेरा इंस्टेंसेस बन गया। अब मेरा नेक्स्ट कॉपी क्या है, मेरे को S3 बनाना होगा अपना लॉग्स के लिए। मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं यहाँ पे धीरे से S3 लूंगा। सब कुछ हम लोग डिटेल में करेंगे, ठीक है। Okay, everything we will do in detail. Okay, so यहाँ पे S3, we will click on S3, right? Here what we will do, we'll create a bucket. Okay, this bucket will be used for further processing when we want to load the data into many other type of things, right? So now we'll create bucket. Okay, here what we will do, let's type AWS industry level project. ठीक है, इसको नाम दे देते हैं, सपोज आज का डेट दे देते हैं इसको 17/11/2024. ठीक है, this will be a today's date. Then what we will do, ACL should be enabled. What is this ACL? If you have studied AWS, you will be knowing, right? Basically to make your bucket accessible to other accounts, right? Bucket owner is fine. Let's give it all access, public access, right? I acknowledge public access, right? And then tick on I acknowledge, right? Then tick on versioning should be enabled, right? And then let's go down. This is fine. Enable create bucket. Now bucket is ready, right? Go inside bucket and let's upload any file. So let's click on upload. I have already a HTML file built up with me, which I will share at the end of the session. So let's click on this. Let's click and let upload index.html. Okay, I'll just browse the index. Now, before I click on upload, I should do one more thing. I'll tick here. I'll go down. I'll click on permissions. Go down. I'll make it grant all. Read public access. I understand. Okay. Permissions. Okay. Now we will go down. Now this is also done. We click on upload. Okay. So now after we upload it, go up, close, go back to the objects, go to actions. So first click on the object, go to actions, go down, make public using ACL, right? Make public. So it will be made public now, right? So our S3 is ready now, right? Now we will create RDS. Everything, whatever we do, AWS will utilize everything, and I will show you like how in real time people work. Okay. If you go to like Facebook or Google as well, this type of projects will be done there, right? Now go back to dashboard, go back to that databases, right? Click on the create database, right? Standard create, we'll create a sample database here, right? What we will do, we'll go down, we'll click on MySQL, we'll create a sample database called MySQL, right? And then MySQL standard create, then that's fine. I think let's make it as a free tier because anyway we don't want ourselves to be charged, right? And then let's go down. Let's go down, and they automatically will see all the databases here. Here, just enter the password as password. Just enter password. PASSWORD. That should be your password. You can keep anything. I'm just keeping for the simplicity purpose. Password. Okay, this is good. Now here T2 micro is fine. Everything is fine. Here, go down and select your VPC, industry level project, right? Okay, this is done. Now go down. Subnet group is fine. Before you go anywhere, so this is my VPC. Let this be for now, right? We do not have to do anything. Let's make it public access as yes, right? Let's select here industry level project as well, right? Availability zone should be 1A, which is always preferable, right? And then here, we don't want to do anything here. Go down, go down, go down, go down. Which one? 1A. ठीक है, project DB. जैसे मैं लिख रहा हूँ, however I am writing, please write accordingly. Enable automatic data, enable encryption. Okay. And then go down, enable the untick. This all we don't require, right? Project DB, untick, create database, right? So my database is also ready. Okay. Everyone understanding? Okay, कर दिया इसको. We don't need this. Click on close. Now next, this is creating. Now